People say my grandmom never had acne.
Mm.
Yeah, because they didn't eat the foods that we are eating. They lived a very different lifestyle than what we are living today.
Even the way they handled stress, they didn't have stress.
No.
But they had a very different perception towards handling it. They
Yes.
accepted a lot
Yes.
of it, let go of what they couldn't control. But
It's what you said, right? Look, like
Yeah.
you said about sleep. You
Mhm.
have to see the kind of things urbanization has brought us has really taken us away from our roots. There was a reason your body has a circadian rhythm.
Mm.
I tell my patients, everybody knows this. You need to sleep for good skin.
Mhm.
Nobody cares about
The
what
sleep
I'm
part of
saying
it,
when I'm
yeah.
saying sleep, right? They say, she said sleep 8 hours. I'll sleep at 2 in the morning. I'll get up at 10. I've covered my sleep, doc. I slept. No, you didn't. You need to follow the body's circadian rhythm. You need to go to bed so that your body can produce the growth hormone when you're sleeping.
Mhm.
And that is exactly how you're aging. But people think I'll lather my skin with hyaluronic acid.
Mhm.
I'll put my retinol and I'll sleep at whatever time I want and I'll get up at whatever time I want and my skin should still look radiant.
Mhm.
I can't do that. There is no quick fix. You need to sort of reset and replace your life with certain good things for you to have healthy skin. That's the only truth behind it.
The point is like collagen, like you said. We have so many patients and
Yes.
there's structural collagen, which only sleep can fix. Like you rightly
You are
said, when we
absolutely
sleep.
right. You need that because that's when your collagen is building.
Yeah.
And the more you stress your body, lack of sleep is a stress signal.
Mhm.
You are breaking down your collagen. You are aging
And the powders
faster.
can't fix that part of it.
No.
Now, I would use collagen for patients who have gone through a hip replacement, cartilage, all of that to
True.
support.
True.
But structural collagen of the face is dependent completely on sleep, which is why I guess they call
I'm
it
so
beauty
glad.
sleep.
Yes, I'm so glad that you brought that
Yeah.
out because you're right. For the joints, you need a very specific type,
Yeah.
right? You need your GAGs, your glycosaminoglycans, you need
Yeah.
your proteoglycans. Yes, those can be supplemented. But is that really supplementing for your skin?
Yeah.
No. Rather, go on an amino acid rich diet, eat
True.
good protein, take an
Mhm.
amino acid supplement.
Yeah.
That will help your skin and hair,
Yeah.
you know.
And mitochondrial function, improve that.
Improve your
Yeah.
mitochondrial function, take mitochondrial support,
Mhm.
you know. And it's simple. Just eat vitamin C, eat vitamin E,
Mhm.
take a B complex. And
Mhm.
sometimes, patients tell me, doc, why do I have to take these supplements?
Mhm.
What I need people to understand is that sometimes the way we cook our food, the
It's
choice.
depleting nutrients.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
and even the
depleting
quality
nutrients.
of food.
Yes.
Spinach isn't the same it was like 15
Exactly.
years ago.
Exactly.
The soils are depleted.
We all live in this urbanized world, which we can't take away. But what we can do is just consume the right supplements, supported with the right diet.
Correct.
I don't think one can replace the other.
Mhm.
And of course, follow a good skincare regime. Having said all this, I'm not saying a skincare regime is not important, which brings me to the popular Korean 9-step regime, which all of us being Indians living in this climate are trying to follow.
I know people who sacrifice their sleep to get the 9-step regime in
I'm
place.
sure it's so tedious. I don't even know how anyone attempts it. But this is the thing. Koreans have a very different genetic system.
Yeah.
They are born with a certain skin type.
Mhm.
And if you go to see their diet, it is completely a 360 of what Indian cooking looks like.
True.
Their food is as uncooked as it gets because it's steamed. The vegetables they consume,
Fresh. Yeah.
fresh, and they have so much fermented food,
Mhm.
right? But their gut and their body is suited to that.
Mhm.
So their skin looks a certain way. Korea climate is very different from Indian climate.
Mhm.
So following a 9-step routine there actually helps you to trap that moisture into your skin.
Mhm.
In India, especially in a city like Bombay, you don't need to trap the moisture. There is enough humidity in the environment. You are actually making it worse for your skin by putting these layers because you are giving the allergens a base to come and stick to you.
Mhm.
Everybody knows when you put oil on your skin, you will find that dust and sand sits faster, right? You're living in a city with an AI index which is
Yeah.
insane. It doesn't match to the
Dangerous,
AI
actually.
index
Yeah.
of Korea.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that your skin has to use products which are suited to your environment.
Mhm.
And that is a very basic rule. I can't lather humectants which are sealing in the moisture in a weather where it doesn't need to be entrapped.
Mhm. Right.
I'm confusing the skin. I'm
So the skin
confusing
needs
the
to breathe
pH.
in this,
Yes.
literally breathe in this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, where we stay, our skincare should be as minimum as it gets. What we really need to work on is, in fact, cleansing. We need to use cleansers to make sure that the pH of our skin is balanced because of the pollution in the air, we are ripping our skin of the moisture. So you need to hydrate it internally with what you eat and drink as well as externally,
Mhm.
because that's what the environment in this city needs, or that's what the environment in general needs in India with the kind of pollution that we're all exposed to.
Since we're on that topic of skin and moisturizing, When it comes to sunlight, what's your take? Now, I know, see, we have a lot of autoimmune patients, eczema, psoriasis. Some of them, the sun works brilliantly. Some of them, no, absolutely not. They can't do that. But the early morning sunshine, for people who don't have a condition, okay, do you really have to wear sunscreen, or, what's the whole sunscreen thing?
We all know that when you're exposed to the sun, vitamin D is produced. So let me simplify this. The skin cells are what are making your vitamin D. They are the only cells in the body which are metabolizing your vitamin D and giving the whole body the active version of it. Having said that, when you said about psoriasis, Luke, one of the best therapies which was seen was in earlier times when so many steroids and all didn't exist in the pharmacy industry, was people, when they went to the Dead Sea, for psoriasis and eczemas, it was actually considered a treatment. It was a treatment to make that visit. Now, why that happened is because there was a narrow band therapy. The way the UVB rays were falling in that part of the geographically was giving you more absorption, and that controlled your vitamin D. Now, I'll tell you why this is important with skin is vitamin D controls the way your skin is proliferating and differentiating. So, vitamin D is just not for your bones.
Exactly.
It's for your hair follicle and the way your skin is regenerating. And we all shed our skin, very similar to a snake. But a snake does it in one shot. We do it periodically. So when my face is shedding, my hand is not shedding the skin. So you can't tell. But we're all actually shedding every 21 to 28 days. And the problem comes in these autoimmune disorders when that shedding cycle is reset. That's what's going on in an eczema. That's what's happening in atopic dermatitis, and that's exactly what's happening in psoriasis.
I love the way you've broken it down.
So, now this is why a dermatologist tells you to optimize your vitamin D. Because there is a role of a vitamin D in your skin regeneration and your proliferation. So, sun exposure is important for you. Do I say sunscreen is not? No. Sunscreen is equally important. Having said that, skin is your largest organ, so it's covering the largest body surface. Every part. Don't wear sunscreen everywhere else. Let your body produce the vitamin D that it's supposed to, but protect your face, because aesthetically, those sun rays which are great for the regeneration will also cause the melanocytes in your cells to come up. So you can develop pigmentation, you can develop tanning, and that becomes an aesthetic reason.
Got it. Yeah.
Having said that, it's more important for Asian skin. For Caucasians, it becomes even more important because you get prone to certain skin cancers. So you have to protect yourself. So in that aspect, I still say that use a sunscreen, but be mindful of a sunscreen that gives you UVA and UVB protection. Don't just follow what is written, and look for a sunscreen which shows you a triple plus sign. And SPF is in no way a measure to your sun protection. It is only telling you that you won't develop probably a sunburn in those 60 to 90 minutes that you're exposed to the sun. But is it protecting you from the permanent pigment darkening or the permanent damage that's occurring on your skin? No. That's not a measure of the SPF. That's a separate parameter, and you should be an aware consumer. So you should look at it. And lastly, all that research which came out that sunscreens could cause cancer. There is an ingredient which was highlighted. Most good companies have taken care of that ingredient. And also what has to be understood is that ingredient has to reach your body in a certain percentage. It really doesn't happen with the amount of sunscreen that you're lathering on your face. But if you are sunbathing out, it's what you said, get away with 10-15 minutes of exposing your body to the sun and then put on your sunscreen, because you don't want that damage, right? I can't tell you go just make vitamin D and then come back to me for laser. I don't want to do that to you. So be mindful, and if you're aware of why you're doing what you're doing.
Super.